The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of
Chet.
So get ready, nerds, because we're talking the penultimate episode of C, Season 3, Episode 7, God Thunder.
Great name.
God Thunder.
God of Thunder!
Sounds like a heavy metal band.
It probably is.
Isn't it like a Kiss album?
It probably is.
God of Thunder. Yeah, I think it is actually a Kiss song.
There's some Norse metal band that has this song title somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the latest release from Amon Amarth.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's a good band, dude.
How many umlets is that? Is it like 5 umlets?
It's a top 40 in the Mad Max world.
Amon Amarth, Viking metal.
Yeah,
it's good
I'm on.
shit.
I've seen dwarven metal now.
No.
That's a thing. They dress like dwarves and they sing about metallurgy and shit. It's wild.
Okay. Can't wait. I'm going to go Spotify this shit right after.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty badass.
Speaking of badass, guys, this is the second to last episode of the entire series, and it's really sad that it's ending. We got one more episode to go.
Burn it down.
What a ride it's been. We got a lot to say about today's episode. But before we do, let me introduce my fantastic panel of nerds. As always, I am Matthew Kadish. I'm sitting in for Alex because he has decided to deal with some family issues that are not emergency based or anything like that.
You're making it so weird. Just say Alex is out.
He's gone. He's not here.
All right. Well, he's gone, and I am doing the hosting duties, which I'm woefully ill prepared to do. Anyway, let me introduce my nerd crew here. Matt Vader 74. How you doing, buddy?
Someday I'm going to miss another episode, and you're going to say, Matt Vader's not here because he had to go get a really evasive medical procedure and have some stuff
You mean
stuck out.
invasive?
Yeah.
He said evasive.
Did I say evasive?
He said evasive, just so you know.
He's under the gurney.
I was going to let it go, but Matt wasn't.
Shucking and jiving, trying to get away from it.
There's a doctor with a face mask and a scalpel just chasing him around the room.
It's a prostate exam. He's just evading it. He's like, oh.
Vader should be like, Matt Vader can't be here today because he's getting stuff stuffed up his ass.
Yeah.
For a medical procedure.
Do that on your own time.
Sometimes.
We could review that movie.
There's nothing weird about it. It's okay.
Well, Matt Vader, are you ready to talk about the penultimate episode of C?
I don't have any booze today either because I can't drink on the show anymore. It's really bad. I'm really upset about it.
You were so upset last week.
Fucking
Would you like a water?
Yes, I would.
All right. And Juju, the ambassador of estrogen. How you doing?
Hello.
You ready to talk about the penultimate episode?
Oh, man. I am having so much fun this last season. I maintain that it's just a burn it down philosophy.
Very good. And with us, sitting in for Alex, is Conspiracy Tom, who has not watched this episode.
I have not watched a single bit of it. Every time I hear you,
great.
but I'm just really excited because I know how excited you guys are about this ridiculous show. And it just means so much to you. I'm just like Christmas morning watching you guys open up the presents. And I'm just like, so sit back, I'll sip my coffee and just feel very satisfied that you guys are so happy.
I really need Matt to push play on the TV.
So
I can be reminded of what we're talking about.
Did you forget what happened in this episode?
It's been a couple days.
I will remind you.
Well, our goal here is to talk about the episode in such a way that it inspires Tom to actually want to check it out.
Yeah. So you watched the first ever episode and then nothing else.
I think I watched 10 minutes of the first episode. And then I texted you a bunch of angry nonsense. And you go, we love it. And I was like, no one loves this.
You didn't get to the prayer scene?
No, I remember the talking of the prayer scene.
I think he quit after the Haka dance.
Oh, no, you need to go back. And
okay.
Just watch.
With all things, I need to have some sort of grounding where I kind of understand where it's coming from, no matter what it is, right? I don't care how ridiculous it is. I just need to believe it.
What's not to believe?
Oh, God damn it. just do your show.
Got a bunch of blind people.
Uh-huh. And how does that play into the story in any way?
Because people who have sight are witches.
Yeah.
Burn them.
Burn the witches. Burn the sighted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it. You got it. That's right.
It's, and they're running around on really cool cars with motorcycles.
Lots of water bottles, empty water bottles.
Bitches with mohawks and stuff. Oh, wait, that's a different thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you're talking about Mad Max.
I am.
Looking for gaslight and bullets all the time.
Well, that's what's happening in Australia in the C universe.
Oh,
is
yeah.
yeah.
Get some gasoline.
Yeah, 500-year-old fuel still burns.
Still burns.
Still burns.
I understand it doesn't. I understand it doesn't. I understand it evaporates, but that's okay. I mean, that's not my biggest issue. It's a weird show.
It is.
And you guys love it, and I don't want to take too much away from
I
it.
think we love it because it's weird.
Yeah.
No, it's 100% why you like
the
it.
weirdest show on TV.
Yeah, I love weird. They just couldn't land my plane on that aircraft carrier, man. I just said, nah.
Don't try to. At least you could have tried to land it on the battleship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like a blind person trying to land a plane on a battleship.
In a
That's
river.
what this show is.
In a river.
Yeah.
Protected by a satellite dish.
Yeah. In a canyon. Yeah.
Yeah, no one's on the top of the cliff ready to push it off.
No one knows where it's going. It's like not even the writers are like, we don't know where this is going either, man. I can't believe Momoa signed up for 3 seasons. He's out after this one. We're fucking cutting this show.
I think that's pretty much how it went.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So we're gonna get to talking about this. This is the second to last ever episode of C. So we're gonna have a lot to say about this. So join us after this quick break. Hey everyone, welcome back. And if you like what we do here and you want to support the show, go download a fantastic mobile game called Dragon Champions. Go to saltiner.com/DC, which will take you to either the Android store or the iTunes store, or whatever those things are called. And you can download the app for free. It's a really fun game, kind of in the vein of World of Warcraft, where you collect different heroes and you gear them up and you fight against monsters and all types of fun stuff. I've been playing this game since launch. It's a lot of fun. If you go to the promo code area and type in Salty, you get a great little kind of bonus pack to get you going. It's got character shards and gold and all types of fun stuff in there. Gold to get you going. And every time you sign up and play this game, you really help us out because the makers of this game like our podcast and they help support us, and we want to help support them by sending them players to their game. So I highly recommend this game. I'm level 80, and we've gotten enough people into it where we have our own Salty Nerd Guild who goes on different raids every other day. Matt Vader, how was the last raid that you guys did?
It was super fun. You know, we got to kill the dragon, and I think I kind of missed it. I'm not gonna lie. I missed it.
Oh no.
Yeah, you know, we got some real badasses in the guild that have supplanted my awesomeness, and because they play way more than me.
Oh.
So it's interesting.
But if you want to get up to level 20, you can come to our Discord server and join our guild. Yep. And it's a lot of fun. Go to saltiner.com/DC, type in the promo code Salty. Okay, so let's get into the penultimate episode of Season 3. Jude, take it away.
All right. Episode 7, God Thunder. Tormada's army is loading the catapults and preparing to attack Pensa. Guards march Kofun in because, of course, and Sibeth's like, my baby daddy's always a step behind. Isn't he cute? Kofun begs her not to launch the bombs, and she's like, no, it's going to be a blast. Get it?
Kofun, man.
Oh my god.
So first of all, like, he gets clubbed across the cheek in the last episode, which would basically shatter your face. Yeah. And he just walks in. His healing factor is at
Dude, he's Wolverine.
He is Wolverine.
He's
fucking
totally.
Wolverine.
He got stabbed 2 episodes ago. We're not even talking about that
Doesn't even
anymore.
have a black eye or anything.
It's like
not swelling up.
In Showtime, it was like 3 days ago. He took like a butcher knife, like a 6-inch shank to the kidney.
Yeah.
And you know,
Wait, he's gotten stabbed twice this season,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I've seen movies before. You can get stabbed pretty much anywhere. And as long as you put a Band-Aid on it, you're good.
You know, and you know, as long as you have Jason Momoa sticking his poopy covered hand up in the hole just for fun. It's like,
Tom doesn't know about the
he
poop.
doesn't know about the poop.
I know. I saw Headhunter. I have an idea what rubbing poop on wounds is all about.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, like, we pick up where the last episode left off with all the trebuchets and stuff like that. And one of the things that I really appreciated about this opening scene is they actually showed like one of the guys using like a rope to figure out distance and trajectory on one of their maps. And so like, I'm like, okay, that's all I needed to believe that they could point these things like at the city and actually like hit stuff, because they also mentioned that they'd had spies going in for days to kind of map the areas to figure out where they were going to,
Is that how it
shoot.
works?
Yeah, apparently. So
It's like we got this grid that these blind people can read somehow, and they know exactly how far to launch. The
Artillery is way easier than you think it is.
Is it?
Yeah, I
It's
think
just
so.
point it in general direction. And
Well,
Let it fly.
what they've done in the show, and especially in season 2, is they pointed out that like they do make maps in this world, and basically like when they map the city, their spies were able to kind of figure out, okay, here's what the distances are, like here's where everything is.
100 heartbeats.
Yeah, and then the guys running the trebuchets were able to figure out, okay, this is where we need to point them based off of these maps. So I was like, okay, I believe it.
Just point the things in the general direction of where you think the people.
I mean, they're what, like I don't know, 1,000 yards or something.
A league.
Oh, a league away from this giant city. If you go straight, you're gonna hit it somewhere in the city.
Well,
This is a trebuchet. That's what you're saying, right?
What I find interesting is
That's
that
complicated.
we had someone from the production reach out and basically say that these trebuchets are repurposed oil rigs.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, that's cool. How did they get them there? How did no one hear them
Are they
building
on
these things?
wheels?
They are on wheels, I think.
They've literally got drums that they're beating. And I'm like, how does no one in Pensa with all the Ayuras not hear any of this stuff?
Yeah, all of these questions and more.
The look on Tom's face right now is just priceless.
Well, yeah. Remember the very beginning of this when I said, I can believe any ridiculous concept as long as it's presented well, right? Just as long as it's explained. This show is just one of those where it's like, just like Matt's saying, like, I mean, I guess they got a rope or something.
Like, you're just gonna go, okay,
Yeah.
I'm in. Let's
You just
do
gotta
it. You just gotta go with it.
Strap in.
That's it.
Yeah. And then they have like ornately designed costumes for some reason with different colors, and they're color coordinated also.
Yep. Color coordinated.
There's just so much in there. It's just tough. It's just tough for me.
There's a lot of textures on the clothes that,
Yes,
that
there
they
is.
feel.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different aromas on some of the clothes as well. That has been explained to us,
Yes.
right? You know, so
Pheromones.
stinky and bumpy clothing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting into it now. I'm getting into this world.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm following you.
But Mahgra makes Kofun watch as she bombs her own city. And typical Kofun, man. It's just like he shows up and you're just like, I thought you were going to fix him this season.
Fucking guy.
This fucking guy.
If anybody's gonna do it, it was Kofun.
He's not useless because he fucks things up more.
Yeah, that dude. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, who put a blind guy in charge, right?
I just have such a hard time with Kofun because how do you get captured over and over and
Almost
over again?
every episode.
By blind people.
by blind people?
By blind people.
Oh my
when
God,
you're
yeah.
sighted.
Yeah.
I mean,
He gets captured every season.
yeah, and not just captured, but they like torture his ass and fuck him up.
I mean, are any of these people like Daredevil?
No.
The
Well,
echolocation?
Kinda. Yeah, they
some
do
of
use
the,
echolocation.
some of the special
yeah.
powered ones are.
Because I remember watching some video of some blind guy clicking his tongue and
Yeah,
walking
they do
around.
that.
Yeah.
That, like,
Yeah.
oh, there's a poster over there.
Yeah, there's a lot of this
There's a lot of
going
that.
on. It's like I'm right here.
Like,
You know,
girl, you fine.
yeah, right. Yeah. But
You got that. Oh, I got that ratio. I see it.
All right, Jude, what happens next?
Mahgra tiptoes through the tulips to Tamakta June as he buries the dead traitor witchfinders, and he looks like he regrets aligning with any Queen Kane. Mahgra asks him if he believes what Shiloh told them about Sibeth and Travantes being aligned. Tamakti's like, witchfinders don't lie, and the audience is like, don't they? Haniwa, Bobba, and Ren make it back to Pensa just in time to hear the bombs heading for them. Mahgra rushes to the palace to get Wolfie, and Tormada unleashes the second wave of bombs at Pensa, and the queen just stands there when she hears the bombs heading for the palace.
So, so when Tamakta June had that line about like witchfinders don't lie, I'm like, they lie a lot.
They lie all the time. Yeah. I'm going to let you live if you give me this information. Kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 1.
Yeah, or like, yeah, I'm not going to incite a revolution and attack your regime anymore. Thanks for letting me live.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get ready to overthrow the regime.
Yeah.
I mean, like it really was a weird scene. Like, I get that Tamakta June is like like these were people that he spent a lot of time with. He trained them, you know, like they were very close to him. But at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, like they were traitors, you know, like they killed the small council. They tried to kill Mahgra. It's just kind of like a weird dichotomy here where like, you know, like he basically said like, we changed the rules on them and that wasn't fair, but it's like, yeah, but they kind of shouldn't have committed treason.
Oh, apparently they can sneak in anywhere.
Oh,
too.
they have superpowers.
Yeah.
But I want to try to understand the Witchfinders a little bit, because I kind of sympathize with them a little bit, because I do feel like Mahgra just kind of rolled in and just changed up everything. It's like they spent their entire lives hunting witches, and now they're supposed to, you know, it's like, oh, they're cool. Witches are good. No problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's a religious thing too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Goes against their religion. One of the things I found absolutely hilarious in this part of the episode, though, was so like when the bombs start falling, Mahgra hears them because she's an Ayura basically, and after she gets up, she starts running with Tamaktajun to get into the palace to save Wolfie. And as they're running into the palace, there's this one palace guard at his station in front of like the entrance, and he's just like, you know, hitting his like stick on the ground, and he like hasn't abandoned his post yet. He's supposed to be guarding the entrance, and yet people are like running in and out
right past him.
Yeah, and I just feel like that was just Rosencrantz, just like, you know, like on his lunch break,
doing
standing there.
Yeah, which is basically what the guards have always done, because people just get past the guards willy-nilly in this show.
Yeah, and at a later point, Magra's like, assemble the palace guards to put out the fire and get people medical treatment. I'm just like, palace guards? Like what? The palace doesn't exist anymore. They're probably all dead.
Like those guys all think that their only job is to just stand there.
I mean, like at this point, like what are you supposed to do? Because basically these bombs are like blowing people's eardrums out. They're like, you know, creating like fires. Like there's so much chaos. They destroy Old Main in this episode. That basically like they hit the clock tower, the Dick Tunnel buckles, and like everything collapses. And it's
wait. I heard the word Dick Tunnel buckle. Is that like go back? I want to know more about Dick Tunnel buckle.
You want to explain it to him, Jude?
I can't. It's too much. You're gonna have to watch the show.
There's a secret sex room in the castle that was used as an escape route.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's good.
But okay, so Mahgra rushes in. She saves the baby, which we haven't seen for like 3 episodes, by the way. All of a sudden, we realize there's a baby. She saves the baby. She runs downstairs. She hears the bomb. She's an Ayura. She knows where the bomb is going to hit. It's going to hit right above you. Bitch, move to the side. And she just stands there with the baby like, oh dear. Fucking run out of the palace.
And isn't No there too?
Yeah,
Yes.
No's there, but like in Magra's defense, she can't see. So it's like there's so much chaos going on.
She can hear it.
Well, I mean, she can hear the bomb incoming, but like, how is she going to figure out like where she needs to go?
Trajectory, echolocation.
Okay.
Like that's the part where you're starting to wonder, like you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't add up. Her disability shouldn't be preventing anything.
It really annoyed me that she just stood there. She literally they filmed her just standing there.
Maybe she wanted to die.
Yep.
Yeah. She's praying for it.
As she was rescuing her grandchild.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people running out of the palace right now.
Yeah, I mean, like there was a lot of chaos going on there, so I can forgive Mahgra for maybe like not knowing what to do, but like I was surprised that like after, you know, the bomb blew up next to her, she could still hear. There wasn't any like ringing in her ears. Remember that time that someone shot a gun next to Haniwa and she like couldn't hear for a good like 2 minutes?
We just kind of forgot.
All right, Jude, what happens next?
In a flashback, Mahgra wakes up and meets Bobba for the first time. She's like, how did I get here? And we're like, Jerla Morel brought you to Paris. And Bobba's like, what's your name? And she's like, I'm not running from anyone. Outside the palace, Bobba hears No barking and Wolfie crying. They peel the pieces of the rubble off of an unconscious Mahgra and pull her to an unaffected area of the palace.
So 2 things here. First of all, I really like these flashback scenes with Mahgra and Bobba Voss.
Really?
Yeah. You know, like I feel like it went back to like a season 1 thing. It filled in some of the gaps where it's like, okay, we see how they meet. We see how they start falling in love. And I felt like it added something to the characters and the story of this show that was really heavily needed. Like I would have rather seen this than them fighting mutant cannibals in a car graveyard type thing.
Because like in season 1, when we meet the family, they're already married, but we know that these aren't, like the baby that she was carrying aren't Bobba's, but we just have to accept that, oh, well, she was already pregnant when they met, they fell in love, now they're married, and now this is his family. But now we get to see it. So
and
I appreciated it.
There was also a lot of emotional weight kind of like dedicated to that. Like it would have been interesting to see like while Bobba Voss was fucking off in the woods, you know, Harlan and Mahgra having like a growing relationship and her thinking about like, you know, how her and Bobba fell in love and her like conflict about like her feelings for Harlan versus her feelings for Bobba. We don't get any of that stuff in the show. But the flashbacks that we got in this episode, I was like, these are good. I'm really enjoying these. I wish we had more of them.
That's interesting because I didn't feel like they were necessary at all. I didn't need to have their relationship origin explained to me any more than what it already was.
Well, they weren't necessary, but
it felt like filler to me.
Well, you're not wrong, but I think that one of the themes of this show.
I'm glad I'm not wrong.
I'm just saying, like, I think one of the themes of this show is about like the family unit and like how like family is important and how it comes together and stuff like that. I know Tropper is big on, you know, like kind of like, you know, family as a theme. And so seeing Mahgra and Bobba Voss meet and fall in love and you know, him making the decision to have her children be his own. Like, I just felt like it was very poignant and it made the characters more interesting to me than just them like, you know, somehow daredeviling their way through like a battle scene.
I don't know. I just felt like they just showed us stuff that we already knew. It wasn't necessary to me. I didn't need those gaps filled in, I guess.
I think it was for me then.
Okay.
Like at this point in the series, when there's like
There's
two episodes left.
There's one episode left.
Yeah, you don't need it. You're right.
I don't need fucking flashbacks now.
We had a full episode of random cannibals in the last episode, though. So, I mean, they're just throwing shit terrible on the screen and seeing what sticks.
I mean, I agree that it's a little bit too little too late in the sense that this is like the second to last episode of the series and we're getting this type of stuff. But I liked how the flashbacks played out, and I kind of wish that like that had been something throughout like the season where we get to see flashbacks of like Sybeth and Mahgra and you know like like Bobba Voss and Poopbeard, you know, like in their early days and stuff like that. Like it would have been like interesting to like get this like background as opposed to like some of these pointless side quests that we got throughout the season.
I love Tom's face every time we say things like poop beard and poop fingers and dick tunnel.
Yeah.
I would like to add that Alex is listening in on us as we going and he agrees with me. Says, not sure what the point of the flashbacks were. So yes.
Well, I did like them and I felt like they added some poignancy to the character relationship there.
At the same time, it's glaring how fucking uneven this whole last season is. It's like, hey, we're gonna tie some shit in from season 1, and it really is a nice way to like go out and end the season by tying some stuff back to the first season. I liked it. Also, at the same time, this entire season has just been like, burn it down.
I'm really looking forward to the last episode next week. Is it next week?
Yeah.
The last episode when we get 20 minutes of flashbacks about how the silk farmer operates his operation.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
So the second thing that I had an issue with here, the second thing I had an ip with here is that like I get the joke of calling the dog no, but like when Bobba Voss is like no, like for a minute there I was like, what's he raging against? It was like, oh, he's calling for the dog.
Yeah.
I wish they had made like the dog's name like a little bit different, because like just calling him no was kind of
it's like every dad joke ever made.
Oh yeah.
About dogs. Just name the damn dog no. Just say no to it all the time. Anyway, it was just a take on that.
I named my dog Boy.
My grandpa's had that joke with me. My dad had it.
I've had
it with my grandkids and my kids. Like just name the dog or cat no.
Yeah.
No. It's like yeah.
Well, I mean, you can name a dog anything. It doesn't really know. It doesn't get the relevance when you start calling him like Dildo. Like, hey, Dildo, come here. It's like, he don't know.
You don't know.
But so in this scene, basically, Bobba Voss and his crew finally get into the palace just as like everything has collapsed, and they're going to try to save Mahgra and Tamakta June and all those people. But Jude, what happens next?
After sensing the damage of the bombs, Sibeth is like, oh my, Kofun, did you see that? And Kofun's like, you crazy bitch, you probably just murdered our infant that I wish had never been born. Sibeth has him escorted away to her tent. Tormada wants to bomb Pensa again, and Sibeth tells him to wait for Mahgra's response. Sibeth visits Kofun and laments that she, really loves. Super deep. And Kofun's like, well, if you love me, you won't kill me. And Sibeth literally laughs in his face and is like, poor Kofun, I wasn't talking about you. And they both do a little, you know nothing, Jon Snow. And Sibeth is like, by the way, I hate your mother, and so does God. Thanks for that gross, sightless baby you gave me. It stayed my execution perfectly. And Kofun is like, he's your son. I mean, I hate him, but you're his mommy.
The acting in this scene from Sylvia
Oh my God. She's amazing in everything that she does.
It was really amazing to see her switch emotions mid conversation. She goes from being playful to kind of malicious to crying and sorrowful and stuff like that. It's really, really incredible acting.
She's a fantastic actor. She plays this psychopath.
Ooh, she's not even an actress. She's an actor. She's transcended, even beyond.
Yeah. Do you call female doctors doctresses?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
No, call them nurses.
You're gonna get in trouble.
She's a fantastic actor. I mean, every episode that she has been in, she commits 110% to everything that she does, and you can tell, she's acting she's acting circles around everyone else.
Yeah, everyone that we've talked to from the show who's done stuff with her is just in awe of how dynamic she is. Mm-hmm. And this episode, we got to see quite a few scenes of her doing her thing.
Yeah.
And I just hate Kofun so much.
Well, yeah.
When she's on screen and she's torturing her, I'm like, yeah, do more of that.
Also, she makes every scene with Kofun bearable.
She really does. And it was kind of funny, how she was talking down to him, and she's like, oh, poor Kofun.
Uh-huh.
Always the butt of the joke.
Yeah. Always late to the party.
Oh my God. And she it's so funny too, because at this point, I think she assumes that Kofun knows that she was using him the whole time, but he still does it. And he's like, I mean, if you love me, you'll do this. And she's like, ha, 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 I never loved you. I was using you.
Yeah, and I also liked how Sibeth, there does seem to be some method to her madness, because she's stop the bombing. Uh-huh. She doesn't want to completely destroy the city, but Tormada's just burn everything down.
Yeah.
He's like, why are we stopping? She's like, I want to give Mahgra a moment to understand the situation she's in, because already Queen Kane's thinking a couple moves ahead, where she's like, I want her to surrender the city, and then I can get my revenge, and then I can take the city, and the rebuilding won't be as bad if we just level everything, because she needs servants if she's going to be a queen. She needs subjects. Mm-hmm. So I like that there was a little bit of thought put into that. It's okay, we lobbed 6 bombs into the city. That should show them our power. So we're going to take a tiny break, and I'm going to play out the rest of my plan.
How many catapults do they have? Do we know that?
They have 3.
Is it 3?
Yeah,
okay.
I counted 3.
All right, Jude, what happens next?
When Mahgra wakes up, they all realize that idiot Kofun isn't there. And you can literally hear the, ugh, Kofun, in Bobba's voice when he says he'll find him. Mahgra asks what's going on outside, and Haniwa tells her, oh girl, it's nasty. Lots of dead and shell-shocked people. The city looks like shit.
I like how later on there's a scene where Ren climbs a ladder up to the wall, and she just peeks over.
Oh yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, but I'm just really you couldn't see any of this stuff coming into the city.
Yeah.
What's going? How does any of this work?
Yeah, they literally just got there.
But they can't see anything.
No, there's a few people who can. Ren and Haniwa and Kofun all can see.
Ren and Haniwa and Kofun.
Yeah. And Ren and Haniwa are in a relationship.
Can the Dick Tunnel see anything?
No.
No, the Dick Tunnel's dead by now.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Poopbeard?
Poopbeard's still there, but he's blind.
Still there. He's blind.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody's blind.
I'm getting it.
3.
I'm getting it. Yeah. What about the dog? Is the dog blind?
No.
Dogs
No,
can see.
apparently animals are perfect.
Why are they blind?
There was a virus.
There was 500 years ago, there was a raging plague that swept over the planet, and all the survivors came out of it blind.
Yeah, we have a theory that the vaccine blinded them. So.
Oh, that's possible.
I'm going to keep trucking ahead.
I don't like controversial topics.
Tormada introduces himself to Kofun, who's tied up and blindfolded, and he has plans to make Kofun his new Olaman. Kofun's like, you tried to kill us, and Tormada's like, aw man, that's old shit. But their baby daddy to new fiance talk is interrupted when the Queen's Guard comes to take Kofun out of the tent.
So those Queen's Guard were actually like witchfinders, right? And Tormada was not too pleased to have them interrupt his conversation. But yet again, David Hewlett saves the day. He makes the show come alive every time he's on screen.
I think you're just in love with.
Well, he is my best friend.
I know.
So,
Every scene between Queen Kane and Tormada is gold, though. Them playing off of each other is so good.
I mean, full disclosure, we've interviewed Sylvia Hooks and
Hewlett.
David Hewlett comes on the show all the time, so we're a little shilly. We're a little shilled out for those guys, I think. But.
It's not shilling when it's true though, because like
no, you're right. They're the best actors
every
on the
episode
show.
this season when it's either Sylvia or Hewlett, the show just becomes better.
I mean,
when they're
we
on.
didn't know that they were going to be together so much in this show, and it's just like, holy shit, they're just blowing it up, and it's really cool. Yeah.
And I like how Tormada's like always like kind of like thinking and machinating. He's like, oh, I could use Kofun now that I don't have Olamond or any sighted people, and that's going to further his goals. And then in typical Queen Kane fashion, Sibeth throws a monkey wrench into everyone's best laid plans.
I also think it's really funny that they keep moving Kofun to places and then taking him out of them. Like they're all standing in front of the catapults and she's like, take him to my tent. And then as soon as he gets to the tent, she's like, bring him to me.
I also think it's funny that he's blindfolded.
I know.
You know?
It has no effect. That guy can't walk through a field without bumping into shit anyway.
I mean, I can understand why Sibeth or Tormada would be like, be sure to, put something over his eye so he can't see. But at the same time,
it's not like he was going to be able to get away anyway.
Well, it's also like that's never helped him before.
Right.
So like, why bother doing it? But I also like how Tormada is kind of reveling in the chaos that Sibeth brings, where Kofun's like, she's going to kill you, and he's like, I know, I might kill her, or we might not kill each other at all.
Exciting?
Or maybe she'll like give me a hand job or something. That would be really cool.
Wait for it.
Yeah, Aunt Handy. All right, Jude, what happens next?
Well, Ren climbs a ladder and I spies an entire brigade of troops that somehow went under the radar until now. Haniwa opens the Pensa gate and sees more soldiers blocking the path. Mahgra and the family meet to discuss what to do now that they know they can't escape. Mahgra hopes that Harlan will rescue them, and that's when Haniwa is like, oh, by the way, he's dead. Here's a key, though. Then suddenly, Kofun walks right past all those soldiers outside, opens the city gate somehow, and just Kofuns it right through the palace like, hi, sorry I got kidnapped again. Sibeth says hi. We get our first set of knots this whole season, and then Kofun's like, ew, don't hand me that kid. And Magra's like, my new plan is to hope Sibeth is as weak as me when it comes to killing sisters.
Oh, there's so much to talk about.
Oh my God.
It's like Ren. It's like, hey, how many soldiers they got up there, Ren? Oh, like 12.
Like
15.
Yeah,
15 maybe.
Something like that. Yeah. And Tamakta Jun's like, I wonder where all the other soldiers are. And then like
they're in front of the door.
Yeah, they're all like at the different doors to like they basically got the city surrounded.
Yeah.
I just laugh at the army numbers. It's like there's like 50 people in this army. And it's an army of 50 soldiers.
But it's like 50 daredevils.
No.
These just 50 blind guys?
Dudes with sticks. That's basically what they are.
But what kills me about this is, so number one, Ren literally peeks her head over the wall and she's just like, oh, there's the entire camp with like all the trebuchets.
Yeah, you can see the catapults from Pensa. No one saw them up until now.
They're not super far away.
Haniwa could have gone up on the wall and literally shot them all down one at a time.
Yeah.
Thwack.
Yeah.
Thwack.
And they wouldn't see it coming.
No.
I see what you did there. We have characters in this show that can literally hear the heartbeats and how many people are coming across like the mountains and shit, and nobody heard them building catapults or drumming or marching towards Pensa.
Or what about those people who can like feel things like really deeply? Where
oh yeah,
or like,
you mean like people like me?
Well, no, like no one's like, I feel a bunch of malice like
I
a
forgot
mile
about those
outside
people.
of the wall.
We haven't talked about them since season 1.
I
sense anger.
I feel savage intent in the air. Savage and soon.
Oh yeah.
What were those people called?
Yeah,
Paris was one of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
I miss the Iras that could touch the ground and go like, they have 15 horses,
Yes.
300 footmen, and
And they're 100. They're
60
1,000
guys-
heartbeats away.
and 60 guys with bows and arrows, exactly 1.2 miles down
Yeah.
the riverbank.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you had the Ioras who could hear really well. You had the Centaurs who could smell things.
Yeah.
And then you had like the empaths who like could like feel
I
stuff.
forget what they were called.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not very important.
No, because I forgot about them until right now.
That was the stuff they got rid of when season 2 started.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is stupid. Get that shit out of here.
There's too much weird shit in this show. Let's cut out half the weird shit
Yeah.
and double down on
I
the
think
other
it was-
weird shit.
But it was kind of the weird shit in season 1 that made me like the show the most.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
absurd.
Well, that was your guys' big hook in the beginning.
Yeah.
Is it just so how over the
Bizarre.
top ridiculous the whole concept is
Yeah.
that you guys are like, I have to see
like-
where this goes.
They're doing a Haka dance on top of the wall.
Yeah.
To intimidate the people that can't see them doing the dance. That's what I loved about this show.
And they had one rope holding that wall together,
Yeah.
just like Lord of the Rings.
yeah, just like Lord of the
Rings
Rings in the tower. Yeah.
Also, like this whole thing that they've doubled down on where they all communicate through knots and ropes, and you can tell someone's signature through the way that they tie their knots.
Yeah.
Like, it's so ridiculous and absurd, and I'm so sad that we haven't gotten that until now. In the first set of knots that we get, it's kind of like a throwaway scene. Kofun doesn't even give her the knots. He's just like, here's what it says.
I'm going to read it to you.
Yeah.
It's like, how the fuck can Kofun read not?
Let's talk about like Kofun like just showing up in the palace.
Oh, hey, I got captured again. But she let me go.
At least you guys didn't have to come find me this
Because
time.
she wanted me to give you a message. Couldn't they have sent like literally anything in to give them the same message? Surrender or die.
I'm wondering if
Basically.
Sibeth did that because like she wants to spare Kofun from the Witchfinders. She kind of talks about that later on in the episode. But also just the way he just shows up, he just kind of wanders into the palace.
Oh my God, he's the worst.
Kofun? Is that you? Yes, Mom, it's me.
He literally just walks into this palace that just got bombed, by the way.
Yeah.
Where's the debris?
Yeah.
I would think that the
Different
structural soundness of Old Main
Right.
would be under.
You guys have to get out of there.
That's a different wing. Different wing of the.
It was the front door. He just walks through. There's no debris, nothing.
Where are the palace guards?
God.
They're down at the piss and pole, dude.
I don't understand why the Witchfinders didn't immediately kill all of the guards anyway.
I don't know.
This is like the realization I'm coming to. You know how people were like, oh, you and your Frodos and your Baggins and Hobbits and dumb Aragons and people that didn't never watch Lord of the Rings and they'd be like, I don't know what you morons are talking about with your stupid nonsense.
That's how you feel right now?
Yeah, because you guys keep saying nonsense words, and you're all like, "Oh my God, Clara Flippin and Bobo were in love, and I can't believe that like Tactar did not come." And you're like, "The fuck is this shit?" And you fucking nerds, what are you talking about? It's just really interesting. You're all super in, you're like dialed in. You guys say a nonsense word, and you all just like nod at each other, like, "Yeah, dick tunnel." Shafru was in the dick tunnel. You're like, oh yeah.
The best part about this scene is that
Presage, thank you, Tanya Chris.
Presage, yes, they were the empaths. The best part of this scene is Mahgra realizing how bad of a queen she is.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible queen.
Like it finally dawns on her as like, oh, this was all my fault, and I'm a terrible queen, and we're all just like, yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
Your sister
you
is
really
correct.
are.
Yes.
Back in old-timey alchemy, Mahgra finally tells Bobba her name. He knows she's pregnant, and they make fun of the writers of the show for the weird names. Bobba tells her the alchemy accepted him as a newcomer because he defeated the strongest warrior, and Mahgra's like, oh, I got this. Honey trap.
Yeah, like it's like, what type of name is Mahgra? And she's like, what type of name is Bobba?
And then they laugh and laugh.
Yes, but I feel like Tropper inherited a bunch of really stupid names
Right.
for the show.
Baba is what my nephew calls my father. So there's
Baba.
that. Yeah, he calls him Baba.
His name is
Baba.
Bobba Voss.
Yeah.
Well, that's way sexier. Who's Baba Voss?
Jason
Jason
Momoa.
Momoa.
Of course it is.
Haniwa and Kofun
Yeah.
and Jurler Morel.
Yeah. Weird names.
Yeah. So not really much to talk about on
More-
this scene. More flashback.
More flashbacks I didn't need.
Yeah.
Yep.
I still liked him.
I do too. I liked seeing them, how they fall in love, and I liked seeing the why of it.
I also liked how like they just kind of drop on her like, oh yeah, Harlan's dead. He gave me this key.
Yeah.
Here you go. And she's like, Harlan's dead.
He was our only hope.
Maybe they'll make another series and it'll be yet another prequel.
Oh my God, I can't handle it.
And but then nobody will watch because we know how it ends.
Yeah, the C prequel.
The
Yeah.
C prequel.
Yeah.
Really good. Well,
It'll be called Blind. It's the story of how everybody went blind.
yeah, you know what's funny though is like the C universe is like so expansive that you could just tell a whole different story in a different part of the country.
Yeah.
You could.
Using the same concepts
Yeah,
in the
because
same world.
we've spent 3 seasons in Pennsylvania.
I want to go back.
No one spent 3 seasons in Pennsylvania. Well, except for It's Always Sunny in
I
Pennsylvania.
want to go back 30 years and I want to learn all about Mahgra and Sibeth's dad, who was the king
Yeah.
of the Dam people.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that would be
Kanzuan King.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I'd like to see how they
do
made
that.
a bust of his face that we saw in season 1. That
I'm
would've
sure
been cool.
there are blind artists that do molds and stuff.
I'm telling you, a series around Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, watching the everyday life of the
Yes.
palace guards in
Yes.
Pensa,
Rosencrantz
that would be killer.
That's what we named it.
That's just what we call them.
I'm like, these names are getting crazy.
Yeah, if anyone knows anything about Shakespeare, you'll get that joke.
Alex wants to see a C prequel about how the virus wipes everybody out.
Yeah.
Of course.
Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, it was called 2021.
Shut up, Alex. You're not here. You're not allowed to talk.
That was Contagion.
And nobody saw that either.
We just lived through it. It's called Pfizer. It kills everybody. So we don't.
Can't be that specific.
But it's going to be like 10 years
Now
from
they're
now.
coming for you.
I don't care.
They are going to
Demonetized.
get you.
Yeah.
Mahgra wakes up in a palace bedroom. She remembers the key Harlan left her, and she and Haniwa start sticking it into locks looking for whatever clue Harlan left for her. Haniwa finds a box with a map in it that shows the underground tunnels leading out of the city.
You know what
Oh,
kills
that
me
one.
about this scene? So like Harlan gives Haniwa that key last episode, and she's like, Mahgra will know what it means.
She knows.
And then like they give her the key, and she's like, I wonder what this.
What's
Yeah,
this?
what's this?
What does this mean?
And Honey was like, oh, he said you would know. Maybe we should go to his room and just start
like-
sticking the key and
Yeah.
stuff.
Just find anything that has a hole in it
Yeah.
and we can stick a key into. Yeah.
Like you would think that Harlan would have briefed Mahgra on these like escape tunnels that he uses for smuggling, just so that like if there was ever a situation where she needed to evacuate the city, like they would be able to find them and use them.
Right.
But apparently, like he just never mentioned it to Mahgra at all.
Because he didn't want to get caught smuggling.
Yeah, and he didn't.
Even though he's basically the ruler of the whole city.
Yeah, I mean, like he's the king consort, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, everybody knows this it was Harlan City the whole time.
yeah,
So
and like
Of course.
like you would think Tamakta June would at least know about him or something like that. Like Harlan would have told him about them or something.
Nah, man. The only one he told was his brother, and Mahgra got him killed last season.
I also think it's funny that like only the sighted people could figure out how to read the map and get to the underground tunnels, which
Yeah.
we're going to talk about. But yeah, this whole scene where like Magra's trying to figure out what the keys to, even though like it kind of reminds me of that old joke, like the money's in the and, like the guy dies. Like Harlan should have been like here, give this to Mahgra. There's a chest in my room that it goes to that gives you like a map to the smuggling tunnels, and then like he dies, because there was plenty of time for him to explain that.
oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's a key. It's good
He's
for
like,
something really cool.
Tell your mother, oh gosh, what should I don't know. It's so complicated. You'll know what to say. Tell her about the map.
Yeah, it sounded like it was something sentimental that
Yeah.
like she would understand.
It's like, Jude, here's a key.
Thank you.
It does something.
Great.
Now, fuck off.
Oh, how sad.
Just a good luck.
I'm gonna forget about this immediately for like 3 scenes.
Okay, please, fuck off. Get out of here. I'm trying to die.
It's like that scene in Buffy the Vampire Slayer where Paul Rubens is just like dying for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Tom's like, this show's terrible.
It's very in depth. It sounds dramatic.
It's not. It's
Okay.
really
Sure
not.
it is.
Not really.
It's definitely a show.
Yeah. It's a show.
It's definitely a show.
We're going to get to some drama right now.
Oh, let's get there.
Yeah.
Let's get there.
Sibeth and Tormada couch together and reminisce about the war they started. Tormada wants to keep destroying shit, and Sibeth wants there to be something left for her to rule over. Tormada tells her he wishes her baby daddy was still around and confesses that he doesn't believe in God. Sibeth grabs his dick and tells him he just hasn't met the right God yet.
I love this scene.
Is that real?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, you take a lot of artistic license with what you write.
She
sometimes.
literally grabs his dick and says, you just haven't met the right God yet.
You haven't met my great masturbation god yet.
No. This scene was your typical science versus religion thing, and religion won.
Yeah.
Because the look on
I thought religion and religion was.
the look on Hewlett's face when Hooks grabs his crotch, and he's like, like when I was watching that scene, I was like, is Tormada a virgin? Like, has he never prayed before? And
Wait,
I could
what?
totally believe that. Like I could totally see Tormada as being like so obsessed with like science that he has like no interest in sex or anything like that until like at this point. And this is how like Sibeth gets him around her little finger. But the big star of this scene, the thing that stood out the most to me was this beautifully preserved 500-year-old sectional couch.
Right?
Like this thing looks comfy as
That
hell.
they have brought
Yeah, that they somehow
with
brought with them.
and put in her tent.
Yeah, the Travanti soldiers didn't bring that.
Well, she went down to the local IKEA, and there was some stuff like in the vault that they.
But I mean, this thing is like perfectly like assembled. It's like got sectional pieces to it, and she's just like lounging on it. And Tormada comes in and like sits down on this couch.
She's like, come sit with me. And she's like patting the couch and no dust flies out of it.
Yeah,
She is a queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, come on.
well, but I mean, like if you
Come
watch
on.
previous episodes, you'd know that like the Witchfinders aren't like carrying around these like furniture pieces or anything like that. So I just found it funny that like they have this like beautiful like sectional couch that, like I feel like I was sitting on it as I was watching like the show because we got a sectional couch too. And I was just like, where did that come from? That's beautifully preserved for 500 years.
Right.
It's
vintage.
well, it belonged to one of the grandmas of the show, covered it in plastic.
Yes.
They finally just
That's
took
a
the
thing.
plastic off.
Yeah. Okay. That's very possible. It could last 1,000 years.
Covered
like
in
that.
bubble wrap, man.
Now we have to talk about how those plastic coverings last 500 years.
There's a lot of
those.
masturbation, so maybe the plastic couch is a big help.
maybe.
True.
Just spray anywhere you want.
Yeah.
I knew this old lady when I was a kid that had
Oh, boy.
plastic covered furniture, and I always thought it was the weirdest shit.
It's
Yeah.
very
It
weird.
was very weird.
Everybody had that friend.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
why does your grandma cover all her shit in plastic?
I remember when we were watching this episode, we got a text from Alex, and he was like, "Aunt Handy returns." I was like, "Yeah, well,
Spoilers, bro.
Sibeth knows how to use her.
She
her
sure
hands.
does.
She's not afraid to get her hands dirty."
That's
There you
true.
go.
Ren and Haniwa go on a scavenger hunt through the city looking for the underground tunnels. They find a door and then another door that lead to the huge tunnels and weirdly don't seem to walk downstairs or a ramp or drop down at all to the underground tunnels that lead all the way to the mountains.
Yeah, it was funny when we were watching the scene, and I was like, okay, so they open the hatch door and they walk inside. I'm like, wait, isn't this supposed to be underground?
They're underground.
It's like they literally
And
just like
they're
walk in.
huge. They're like as wide as this room that we're sitting in right now, and it leads all the way to the mountains.
Well, they're probably old sewer tunnels.
Yeah.
Old vent, like where the homeless people
They
live.
literally just walk through a door.
Is this the exact scene right here that
Yes,
we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
two people can see, right?
Yes.
Well, thank God, because this is just unbelievable otherwise.
But I mean, they have like a submarine hatch door
Yeah.
for these tunnels.
Yeah.
And they don't like climb down a ladder or like walk downstairs or anything like that. It's just like the tunnels just like go.
Just bloop, right inside.
Yeah, and it's like what are these things?
Where
Like,
are they?
Why are they?
I love this is where you draw the line. You're like, you didn't go down far enough, you peasants. These are tunnels underground.
They are
This
on
is
street
supposed
level.
to be the escape route for the entire city to escape this army that's coming to destroy
and no
them.
one's supposed to know about these things.
Yeah.
And if they were above ground,
They're supposed to be so hidden that no one knows about them.
Let's put it this way. There could be a sign right next to it that says exit right here
Yeah.
with like 500 arrows and no one would know. So, I mean, these are blind people.
After Ren and Haniwa report back, Mahgra tells her captains to prepare the Pensan people to leave the city. Somebody finally got Kofun to hold his baby, and Bobba and Mahgra make plans to take their family back to the mountains where they were once happy.
so I always love it when Mahgra orders the city guard to do anything.
I know.
Because you can
What
guarantee that they're
for?
not going to.
But they did. They did good. They did do it this time.
Like round up
How
everyone.
is there
Everybody
anyone
showed up.
left to do her bidding?
They only threw like 6 bombs in. It's a big town. There's like 40 other people there.
Okay.
I mean, there's an army of 12 people outside the walls. I mean, the 40 people that are inside got to escape somehow, right?
Yeah, you know, like if they just armed every single citizen and had them like bum rush like those 5 guys guarding the exits,
Listen,
they probably could have made it
Ren
out.
and Haniwa and Kofun should be able to take all 14 of them out.
Yeah. Haniwa is basically
From a distance.
Green Arrow. Like
Yeah.
she can shoot and kill anything.
And she
She
has
can't use a gun though.
and she does. She still has the gun.
She does still have the
Does
gun.
she?
I
Supposedly.
don't think they have any more bullets though.
And
I think the
has
cannibals
her-
took the gun away from her.
She has her quiver of unending arrows
Unending arrows, yes.
that only looks like she has 3 in it at any one time.
Uh-huh.
For real. It's
Well,
so
well,
funny.
She can shoot 2 at once.
I know.
Do you guys remember when Ren, Blue Lion, and Charlotte took on an entire like group of highly trained
Yeah.
Travanti soldiers
Yeah.
and
At the
destroyed them?
battle of whatever
Green Hill Gap.
Yeah.
No, at the battle of leaving the House of
I mean,
Enlightenment.
literally,
Yes.
Ren and Haniwa could form a master blaster, right?
Yeah.
And they could be like an unstoppable force of death and destruction.
Yeah.
I like where this is going. Like a blind person can ride a seeing person.
Well, no, at the
And
battle
they
of
just
Green
keep,
Hill Gap,
just keep
you
swinging
don't
weapons.
understand.
Just
You
We
don't
actually had a
understand.
master blaster.
That was a military unit last season
okay.
where you had a kid who could see
Yeah.
on top of a blind dude.
And you'd be like,
And he was
3
directing
clicks north.
and he was directing ranged units with
Yeah.
those. And he would go up 2, down 3, right 4. And they would go and they would kill everybody.
Okay, so I can get into that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great.
That's fun.
It was ridiculous, but it was great.
Yeah, but that's one. I'm into that. I'm into that.
So we
I'd watch
we
that.
dubbed them master blaster units
Yeah, that's good.
because it works.
Good. It's
you
good.
know?
It's good. See what you can do with that.
Alchemy flashback time. Mahgra and Bobba caress each other and talk about the baby. Mahgra tells him that if he wants it, the baby and she are both his. Back in real time, Bobba and No find Ranger having 420 time. Bobba tells him he should go home, even though no one can get out of Pensa, and Ranger's like, nah man, Ryder died, and passes the duchy. The people gather at the gate to the underground tunnels. The plan is to flee to Altoona. Bobba gives a big speech to his family about how they are the best he's ever known, even though they're each individually the worst. The Pensans all start their trek through the underground tunnel. Mahgra helps a little girl get through her claustrophobia of being trapped in the underground tunnels. And Bobba's like, ugh, you are a true queen. Tamakti yells for Bobba to take up the rear to help shepherd the people along, and they realize Bobba isn't with them anymore. They stop the entire procession to discuss Bobba Voss and come to the conclusion that he left to go kill Sibeth.
I love how like Kofun just like stop and everyone literally stops.
Stop!
Why? Have them keep going. Have your conversation as they're going.
You know, another thing is like Haniwa and Ren, when they find the tunnels, they're like, oh, we walked the length of the tunnels that comes out in the mountain range. It's like, how long did that take?
Right.
Couple minutes.
And they're like, we're going to be underground for several days. Ren and Haniwa did it in an
Oh my God,
afternoon.
that is true. It wasn't even that long, was
Yeah,
it?
they probably stopped to
An hour?
fuck too.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Wild.
It's hard to get alone time.
But you got a procession of blind people with their sticks. They're going like quarter mile an hour, right? At the
Yeah.
most. It'll take longer.
Well, Mahgra even said that like they can only go as fast as their slowest citizen,
Right.
and that's one of the reasons why they were going to send Bobba in the back is to like spank them and make them hurry up.
Move it along.
Crack the whip.
Yeah,
You're going.
yeah. I did like the talk with Poopbeard, because Poopbeard's kind of like Bobba's moral compass.
Yeah.
But it's also funny because like he's sitting there smoking, and we've only ever heard him call like, you know, marijuana herb. But now he's like, I'm just smoking my weed.
He's like, I got good weed
I
here.
got good weed here.
With this giant blunt.
Yeah.
And
Bobba and No slide out the Pensa gate and find Ranger waiting for them. Bobba says he's going to go kill a bitch, and they set off together, pulling a Jon Snow and leaving the dog waiting for them in the deserted city.
So basically, Bobba Voss comes back. He gets his armor back on that he basically threw away at Green Hill Gap last season. So he's all samurai'd out. He's going to go off to fight the Queen Cane army, and opens up the door. Poopbeard's already outside waiting for him, and I guess the Trelantian guards who were guarding the door just
They're
kind of
gone
fucked
now.
off.
Yeah, they're gone.
Like they were just
well,
like
they're a couple hundred yards out.
No, they were right in front of the door.
I know, but they're not. They're a couple hundred yards out now.
They're on a break.
Yeah,
but they were like, I guess all the people in the city fucked off, so we're just going to go back to.
but they don't know
camp.
that they fucked off yet.
Right.
But exactly.
Yeah.
So, like,
I hear less heartbeats in the city.
also, like, why not take No with him?
Right.
No's an attack dog. He can.
And also, No was a witchfinder dog. He's trained to go on missions.
Who are those people?
Bobba's always like, oh, you make too much noise. I can't take you on this mission. No, he's a silent killer. He was trained by the witchfinders.
Yep.
And he can see.
And he can see.
So he could lead them.
Yeah.
I don't know where Bobba thinks he's going to go because it's like.
Well, he's a ninja. He can go anywhere he wants.
He can.
Well, he is a ninja, but does he know where like the camp is?
He'll smell it out.
Yeah.
Oh, I smell Sibeth.
So
I got a pretty good feeling you put 1,000 people together and you can smell them.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially if you got superpower smell.
Yeah. There's like 1,000 dirty people right over there. You're like, that's at least 1,000.
It's like, oh, that's the piss and pull.
Yeah.
That's the shitty.
I mean, what kind of
Also-
ass wiping situation? What kind of deodorant we talking about?
Oh, we've been down this road.
Okay,
already.
all right.
Yeah.
also Bobba, you know, like he's basically all of his senses are heightened.
Yeah.
Because he's special like that. But this is actually the first time that we see him like smoke some weed because like he always turned it down before. But in this scene, he's like, fuck it. I'm
Might
gonna
as
get
well
high.
get high.
I'm going to guarantee you, Jason Momoa is the kind of guy who has never turned down pot. Ever.
You think?
I don't think he wears shoes. Like, I think that dude just like shows up at restaurants with like linen pants and no
I feel
shoes
like
on.
I don't know if he would smoke weed or not.
I guarantee he smokes
think?
weed.
Have you seen this TikTok of him that somebody took where like some drunk guy was like trying to start a fight and they were just like at a Subway or something getting sandwiches and it turns out Jason Momoa. Have you seen this?
No.
Okay, so there's a bunch of drunk people in a Subway. They're all ordering sandwiches and the drunk person like
So you mean Subway sandwiches?
yeah. And there's like Jason Momoa is at the front of the line. He's ordering a sandwich. There's some drunk guy like 3 people down that's just like trying to start a fight. And Jason Momoa and somebody just like starts filming it and it's like, oh my God, this fucking drunk guy. We all just want to get our sandwiches. I wish he would shut the fuck up. And Jason Momoa just steps out of line and goes, shh. It goes back to ordering a sandwich.
That's funny.
Because he thinks he's Aquaman
Well, he is Aquaman.
in a movie.
Yeah.
I know. I think
I
think Jason Momoa thinks very highly of Jason
Well,
Momoa.
he should because he's the coolest person on the planet.
I don't think Jason Momoa even ponders the awesomeness of
No,
Jason
he does.
Momoa. He's
I'm
just
aware.
like,
No, he
you know
just
what?
knows.
And that's why he's
Think-
the coolest
Yeah,
one.
I'm
he
just
just
gonna go
knows.
get another tattoo, you guys.
Other people would say The Rock is the coolest person on the planet, but The Rock is too self-aware.
The Rock
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
He's too self-aware. I love The Rock, but he's too self-aware. Of his coolness.
Here's a question for you. Name a great The Rock movie. There you go. Keep thinking.
Yeah.
Now I want you to think. Now think of a good The Rock movie.
Scorpion King.
No.
Keep going. Keep thinking. I had this realization.
That
I had
one
this
Fast
realization the
and
other day.
Furious.
That doesn't count. It's a Fast and Furious movie, and I hadn't seen that shit either.
San Andreas was kind of fun.
No, it was
It
not.
was kind of cool.
Were you
Oh,
San Francisco got blasted. That was a lot of
what's
really
that?
bad movie?
What's that movie with every hot actor in it that I love?
Southland Tales.
No.
That's a pretty.
Rampage.
Rampage was terrible.
No,
listen,
great.
I got it. I know a good movie
Go ahead.
with The Rock where he was good.
The Tooth Fairy.
That was on Be Cool.
No, that
cool,
doesn't
man.
count. That doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
I said,
Why doesn't it count?
Because it needs to be a The Rock movie.
Be Cool, man.
He's just in it.
Okay. Well,
He's
a
a supporting actor in it.
Yeah.
He's just in it.
He was good in that.
It's probably
You know what's funny is
the one with Stifler. whatever that one was. That one was pretty good.
The rundown?
Yeah, that was actually pretty
Oh,
good.
I like the rundown.
But the rest of them are garbage piled on top of stinky garbage.
No, you're right. He makes
Yeah.
a lot of money making garbage
Oh,
movies.
what was
Yes.
But we need,
They pay him money to be in things.
All right, guys.
Jumanji's
so this Jumanji is a fantastic rock
those are
movie.
pretty
The
good.
Robin Williams one.
Well, that's a matter of opinion.
I'll
All right,
take the
guys.
Dak
so
Shepard one.
this is the second to last ever episode of our favorite TV show, C. It set a lot of stuff up.
Got one left.
I'm wondering how they're going to pay off everything that needs to be paid off in the last episode. If it's anything like the finale of season 2, they're going to spend half of it on a battle and the other half wrapping everything up. Do you think Bobba Voss survives the season finale?
Yes.
You think so?
I think Ranger dies, but I think he takes out.
Yeah.
I think he takes out.
I don't think they're going to kill
Hewlett
Bobba at
first.
this point.
Ranger takes out Hewlett. Bobba takes out Sibeth, and I don't know.
I don't know. I
Kofun
think
comes in and saves the day at the end.
I think
guess. I don't know.
Hewlett is going. They're both going to battle. Hewlett and Momoa are going to battle, and I think Hewlett is going to get in a cheap shot that eventually off screen we know that it will kill Bobba, but he just kind of fucks off.
I think
off
Hewlett's
screen.
going to go out like a bitch. I think Ranger's going to fuck him up
Oh, he needs to.
because Ranger gets the kill. He gets the kill.
I don't know if he does or not. I think Ranger's going to sacrifice himself by blowing up all the bombs, which destroys Sibeth's entire army. Bobba Voss kills Tormada because we have a little bit on good authority that's what happens.
Yes.
And then I think Mahgra ends up killing Sibeth, or Sibeth just dies from like her wounds or something like that. But it should be an explosive finale. I'll be interested to see how they wrap things up and end things for this show.
A big theme about this has all been how Mahgra hasn't been able to make the decision to offer sister. So it would be fitting if Mahgra got to take her out. So yeah.
What do you think are the odds that Kofun and Sibeth end up together and raise Wolfie? As their,
Hopefully none.
I think that for some reason Kofun will have the baby while Sibeth is dying, and she'll be like, "I'm sorry,"
Yeah.
and then she'll die.
No redemption for her. She doesn't get to be redeemed.
do you think Kofun dies, or
I
does he
hope
live?
so.
I hope so.
I think he's just going to continue. Here's my prediction: is they're going to go into the mountains, and Kofun's going to start the new Alkini tribe with like the remnants of
Yeah.
Pensa.
No, I think Kofun is going to stay in Pensa and be the king while Mahgra and Bobba go off into the woods and into the mountains.
I hope not.
I don't think Baba survives. I think he dies.
Good. I don't know. Guess we'll see.
That's my prediction. All right, everyone. That was our review of the penultimate episodes, episode 7 of C, entitled God Thunder. We're looking forward to the season finale, but we're very sad that this show is ending because it's been a long time love of ours. We started our podcast talking about this show.
Right.
So it's sad to see it go, but we're going to be talking about other shows in the future. Matt Vader 74, where can people find out more about you?
Oh, you can find me on the social medias at Matt Vader 74 on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and most of the other ones.
All right, Jude, where can people find out more about you?
Oh, you can find me at I am Jude Juju on the socials, and check out our Facebook page at saltynerdgroup.com.
All right, and Tom, you were very talkative this episode and added a lot of great insight. Where can people find out more about you?
It was mostly facial expressions, I think, is what I added to that. But if you want to find me, I'm on Instagram. You can find me at Big T2681. I promise you, I'm going to watch the final season finale.
Really?
Yes, you guys have sold me. I really want to see what all those nonsense words add up to, because you guys just kept saying things, and I just kept going. The Mahgra and
Tamati June.
Damati June and Boo Boo and
Boo Voss.
I just want to see what happens to them all. You know, it's just I feel like I really understand where the show's going now, and it's ending, which I know is sad for you guys. So
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Matt does.
I know he does, but
Like, honestly,
I'm ready for it to be over.
You guys jumped on this thing when it first came out, and you all said, "You know what? This is the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. I have to know where this is going, regardless of the writing and the themes and all. It didn't matter. You were going to ride it out, and I appreciate that about you guys.
I wish they kept
Ride
it
or
a little
die.
weird.
Ride or die.
Yeah, it was real. You guys really just said, you know what? I'm watching this shit.
You know what we said? We said chet.
Chat.
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 Blah.
I'm in now. I got it. Yeah.
So you can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter and True Social. KadishBooks.com takes you to our Amazon page. And if you want to talk about this show and more shows and movies and stuff like that, please join us on our Discord server over at saltynerddiscord.com. We have a very active community over there, and we would love to have you join us. And next week, we are going to be releasing our review of the finale, as well as some interviews with the cast and crew of this wonderful show. And, we will probably continue to talk about this show long after it has ended, because that's just how much we love it. But we're also going to be talking about some other Jonathan Tropper shows in the future and lots of other fun stuff. So stay tuned and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done that. And as always, stay salty, my friends.